Alrighty, we are back in action with more high-paced karate action. We got Rick Rufous and we got Oliver Miller. It is 1986. It is full contact karate, and we're ready for the action. Let's check it out. First time I've ever watched this fight. Hopefully the first time you ever watch this fight. Let's do it together. Larry Black, white as ever. Crank it up a hair. There's Oliver. That's Oliver Black. Oliver Miller. My bad. There we go. 28-3. Gotta hide what I'm drinking. Oliver Miller. Looks like he's got some good quick hands. Clean striking. Wow, 20 years old. This is vintage Rick Rufous if we've ever seen it. 13-0, 6 KOs. Yeah, he looks young. Wow. This is probably the earliest fight I've seen of him, and it was amazing quality too. Geez, we were watching a fight and I ended up stopping because it was just so bad looking. I just couldn't even handle it, let alone break down the fight. But Rick Rufous, easily one of the best kickboxers of all time, especially of this era, of this type of competition, full contact. Huge fan of this style of fighting. Can't get enough of it.
Believe me, 13-0, 6 wins by knockout. He's been in the sport a long, long time. As Bill Clark gives him their final instruction.
Bill Clark is the referee for, I would say, maybe 90 to 95% of full contact matches of the 80s and 90s. The amount we've seen this guy in his gi just holding down the ring, it's insane. Rick Rufous, always a fantastic kicker, super active legs, unbelievable dexterity to his legs. Can pretty much land a kick from anywhere at any time. And they're fast, they're snappy, unique style, light on his feet, but insane power in those hands too. Who knows for this 20-year-old, but I think we're going to get some pretty impressive striking out of him. Little side kick action, both guys trying to keep the space. Nice. Little touch to Miller's head.
A lot of you that maybe have tried some of this would agree with me. It's just unbelievable how these fighters can get that leg up.
Both of these guys are really kick-based, like very traditional karate strikers. All right, we just watched the video of Jean-Yves Theriault. And Theriault was just all boxing, getting on the inside, just fighting dirty, crazy power in his hands, knock guys out nonstop. And, you know, Rick Rufous, definitely a dancer. Move around this ring, staying light on his feet. Excellent setup, kind of, again, that's a classic Rick Rufous setup. Right, the way that he would set up his boxing with his kicks. Right, he went roundhouse kick, and at the same time he threw that roundhouse kick, he was lining up his left straight. Little hook kick action there. Axe kick coming over top, spinning back kick, lands. Right, these are fast feet for this 20-year-old.
You'll pardon the pun. Spinning back kick grazes Miller's chin.
Yeah, Miller's having a lot of trouble about figuring out a way to close the distance. He's not going to win the kicking game. And Rufus is so good with his footwork, dancing around the ring, trying to keep space, just keeping those kicks in between him and Miller the entire time. All right, a little touch to the chin. All right, it's like a light jab. Right, not every punch needs to be a knockout, and not every kick to the head needs to be a knockout. The side kicks are amazing by Rufus, though. When you start seeing side kickers fight good sort of boxers in kickboxing, the boxers have a lot of trouble closing that distance, because when you side kick, you keep your head so far away from your opponent. Right, there's an probably the most amount of space possible between you and your opponent when you're landing that kick. And Roufus is just amazing at like constantly using it. It's funny, is like he's constantly doubling it up, right, keeping that space. There's another little side kick, pushes himself off. You know, same result. He's keeping space from Miller's striking, his boxing. Nice little calf kick. Another roundhouse to the body. Miller really just does not have an answer for what Roufus is putting out there. Lands one on the head, another spinning technique. Roufus is known for being one of the more flashy strikers in full contact. I would say so.
The one that just skimmed off Oliver Miller's nose. I was going to say, got about 270 pounds worth in Miller's midsection, maybe.
What the hell does that mean? 270 pounds in Miller's midsection.
Both fighters getting a little more active here in round two. Round one, relatively even. Round two, starting to wind down. The 13 seconds as you see it in the corner.
Nice, good counter by Roufus. He's starting to find his range for his boxing a little bit more. Alright. Miller's still holding his own. He's looking dangerous, but he's much more wild than Roufus is. What you see, he's almost like leaning back as he's trying to get his boxing in. Alright, worried about a counter, perhaps, but it's just not the way that you kickbox. That's how you get flatlined by Rick Rufous. There we go. A little bit of movement. Again, Rick's setting up his boxing, firing off shots while moving backwards, keeping his space. Right, just letting Miller hit air. Right, picking up that leg. But you see, at the same time he's picking up that leg, he's loading up the left hand. It's the second time he's thrown that strike here. Nice little poppy jab. Again, just sort of efficient striking out of Roufus, always. There's always efficient striking. It's creative, but there's no wasted movement, if you'd ask me. Hopefully I'm not sucking him off too much, but I think this guy moves nice.
Yeah, very close fight through 2 rounds. We head into round 3. Rick Rufous has a lot of followers in this sport. As we mentioned, the profile on him earlier, he's been at it since he was 5 years old.
What the hell's going on here? What does that even say? Oh. Up oath? Uputh? What does that? What does that say? Up? Wait? Oh, damn. Gotta stop trying to read this bullshit. Oh, update. Oh my god. I thought it was an O. Okay, I hope you guys were with me. I thought that was an O. But, okay, amazing kick by Rick there. Jumping, spinning back kick. Again, another classic Roufus move. Nice little step-in cross, straight left. Again, non-stop using those side kicks, countering most of the shots that Miller's trying to throw back. Alright, finding his hands a little bit better. He's just a difficult puzzle to solve. I would say that out of Rick Rufous. Everything that he's doing proposes a challenge for your opponent to try to counter, to try... Oh, what the... How did he even get there? How did he jump over Miller's head to land that spinning back kick while he was hunched over like that? Like, what an athlete. Crazy. He's really feeling himself here. Not really pushing the pace, though.
Oliver Miller definitely showing that there's a lot more fight left in him, though, and we've got round 4 in just a moment.
Beep, beep, beep. Wow. What a bizarre counter to hunch down like that, jumping, spinning back kick.
If you're enjoying our American kickboxing series, round 1 of that series, if you will.
Nice little axe kick. Seems like Miller's trying to pick up the power a little bit because he's just not winning the technical game. I think he's going to start swinging a lot harder and trying to make every punch and kick count. Again, that hook kick, that axe kick. I think it's an axe kick the way he's been throwing it. But the timing on Rick Rufus' spinning back kicks is amazing. And the constant, non-stop striking on that one leg. Like, it's bizarre. You never see that type of striking nowadays.
at the end of this fight, if it goes the scheduled 9 rounds, it very well may come into play.
You know, we've talked about Rick the Jet, and as well
Nice.
because he is the U.S. champion and he's undefeated. But Albert Miller is quite a puncher and quite a kicker in his own right, as well as we see his defensive skills.
You know, he's a guy that says he wants a piece of Bob Thunder Thurman. He has to settle for Rick Rufous here tonight.
You know, I cringe when I hear
Nice,
that
good
statement,
movement.
because it's like saying, I'd rather wrestle with this alligator instead of dance with this crocodile. And he's got a crocodile in Rick the Jet Rufus,
That he
a
does.
20-year-old crocodile.
There we go. 20-year-old crocodile.
Action in round 4. Again,
Rather
Miller
dance with a
28
crocodile than wrestle with an alligator.
Sweep set. Rick Rufous,
Who the hell says that?
the middleweight champion.
Nice hook kick. He's landing a little earlier there. Nice spinning techniques. He's very good at striking from most angles. Like almost in any position, right, from any footwork. Right, look at the way his feet are sort of dancing around the ring, right? He's switching stances, figuring out which foot he wants in front. Like his hands and his feet are always ready, no matter where his feet are. So you could be throwing a kick from southpaw. You can throw a spinning technique from orthodox. He can set up his boxing from both positions. He's literally turning his back and then setting up like some pretty bizarre spinning techniques. Nice spinning back kick flowing through there. Wow. Nice little body head action. Good block. The way Rufus is setting up his boxing now is getting really good. Clean. Some dirty boxing. Clean fighting on the inside. Snappy kicks coming from both men. I have to say, Rufus is sticking to his game plan. He's not really straying from it all. There's not too much to say, different about like what he's been doing every single round. He's been building on some things, but in general, it's been the same game plan all throughout. Right, constant kicking, setting up boxing with his feet, countering most of Miller's shots, especially right when Miller commits on a kick with his own boxing. I can't see in any way that Miller could win this fight right now. It's like the skill level is just so in Rufus's favor. There's no possible way. Look at the spinning techniques that he's setting up now, right? Flowing off of his left hand right into that spinning back kick and then into one more roundhouse kick. The axe kick comes over the top. All right, the amount of tools that Rufus has in his belt, it's 10-1 in his favor compared to Miller. Miller might have a good roundhouse kick and a little bit of power in both of his hands, but when it comes to the amount of skills and fight IQ, it's everything is in Rufus's favor, even the athleticism.
North American title in the light middleweight division down in his hometown, Columbus, Mississippi, and I know he's very much looking
Columbus, Mississippi.
Ironically, he's fighting as a middleweight.
They love karate.
Really like to be a light
They love karate in Columbus, Mississippi.
Middleweight champion fights as a light middleweight tonight. Look at the power in that left hook. I think what saved.
Here's a great angle of the spinning back fist.
Nice. But look how it flows into this roundhouse kick. He landed to the outside of Miller's lead foot perfectly. All right, so that roundhouse kick would just cut right through the middle of Miller.
Waved his right hand and said, "No, I'm all right."
6th round. Side kicks again. Because Rufus is making it impossible for Miller to really close the distance safely. And that's really his only chance. And that's the beauty of the side kick. There's that same left straight setup, the jumping roundhouse kick to the body of Miller, and then immediately follows up with some power straights.
We're in round 6.
Switches to orthodox, exact same technique there, even jumped, hit the inside of Miller's leg by the looks of it. And he did it off of the lead side, which makes it even more bizarre. Like, the amount of coordination that Roufus has in his striking, it's like he's a fucking acrobat in there. It's crazy. Crazy to watch. It's beautiful. Look at the, like, who else is doing that?
Looked like Nureyev there coming across the ring, didn't he?
He is a capable kicker.
Look at the spinning. Like, the amount of confidence that Roufus has in his striking right now is just, it's unmatched. And as a 20-year-old, too. What a talent. Miller's just literally swinging for the fences, hoping for the best.
The fighter that stays the coolest and the most calm will probably prevail.
We really see the experience of these two. And as we said, Miller,
Not the most exciting fight, I gotta say that. I do appreciate a lot of what Roufus is doing.
And these are cagey veterans, boy. They are not giving up much defensively.
You know, he's not really going for the kill, I'd say. He tends to really be biding his time and treating this a bit like a point fighting karate match rather than a real full contact match. Alright, full contact, we should be going for finishes. Alright, trying to land lots of, you know, overwhelming strikes on your opponent. You can play it like a game too, where you just pick your opponent apart the entire time. But I would just love to see Roufus finish this guy.
Working his corner, as well as Dan Magnus. You also see Rick Rufous' father, Pat Rufous.
Yeah, we want excitement, we gotta watch Terrio. Gotta watch John Eves Terrio.
His head there in the upper right screen. He actually went through open heart surgery, Brad, to continue his karate career. Several athletic commissions around the country have had to allow him to fight when he brings his heart surgeon in from Walter Reed or one of the big hospitals in the Washington area to prove to them that his heart is stronger than it was before the operation. Open heart surgery to stay in the sport.
What the hell?
That's another thing well governed by the PKC, Joe, is the fact that the doctors are
Well governed. We let a man fight who just had open heart surgery because his doctor said so. I don't know if I'd trust his doctor if he just had open heart surgery, but hey, to your world, PKC, we're just living in it. Nice. Alright, some beautiful straights, great movement.
Action is going to pick up here because both fighters, especially I think the Oliver Miller corner, feels that they need to do a little more. Rick Rufous has been somewhat effective with his kicks and punches. Oliver Miller a little less effective, I think.
You know, it's interesting with Rick Rufous wanting to go down to light middleweight division. Both these guys want Bob Thurman. I would have to say that if Oliver Miller wants Bob Thurman, he'd have to develop quite a bit more strength of style.
Sorry, you know, I'm just trying to figure out what to really say about this match when you're talking to yourself, and basically the same thing's happening every single round. Oliver Miller chasing him around, you know, Rick Rufous, you know, backing up and landing most of the shots. Just Miller's chase, though. Oh, nice head kick landed there, though. Nice, another beautiful counter just as Miller's lifting up his legs, stepping in, right, and figuring out a way to sneak his boxing through the kicks. Right, another front kick for Roufus. Miller's finally got him up against the ropes. He has a bit of a chance here, but still is losing pretty bad in this range as well. But it looks like Roufus is definitely taking some shots that he wasn't earlier in the fight. Perfectly landed boxing by Rick. Now he's brought into the dirty boxing range, showing off some of his boxing chops. It's not bad. Playing it out in the pocket, bit of head movement, right? That shooting uppercut that a lot of these full contact guys like to throw. They throw it hard off their body. When they miss, it shoots to the ceiling every single time. But I love that lean over straight. Right, keeping his head off the center line, right, just not being in the same place. Little duck and roll, sets up another left hand. All right, see, that's that uppercut I'm talking about. Just shoot it to the sky. Nice. Beautiful, snappy round kick coming right over the top of Miller's guard.
On behalf of Oliver Miller, and it's partially, it's not deflected, but it does not hit solidly.
450 pounds of impact force is what that back leg round kick registered at with Sophistic Facts. When we worked out Rick Rufous yesterday, we're ready to head into the 8th round.
They were checking out the power of the kicks before the fight. You hear that? 450 square feet of pressure for each kick? What the hell did that mean? It sounds like a lot.
Rufus a little more flat-footed now. We've seen him bounce around the ring for 7 rounds.
Whenever he's flat-footed, you can look for him to throw that big left hand. He throws it straight in the
Yeah, it looks like he wants to stand there and box with them. I'm kind of liking this version of Rick right now. Oh, it's amazing.
He threw that jump back kick.
He was reasonably waiting for something, wasn't he?
That was a 360.
Damn. Again, hook kick sneaking in. Seems like he's trying to bait Miller. He wants him to come into the action a bit more. Set him up with some counters. Some of those fantastic kicks. You know what I mean?
The back leg is one of the most difficult kicks to throw with both legs. Well, I know I can only do mine with my right leg unless I'm dreaming.
Nice.
Rufus kicks extremely well with both legs on the back kick, left leg and right leg.
I was going to say, I think he did those in different directions, didn't he?
There's the axe kick. And yeah, we're kind of saying the same thing here as the commentators, but Rufus's kicking techniques, just it doesn't seem to matter at all which kick he's throwing and from which stance or position. He can pretty much throw it and land it from anywhere, which is just insane. Like, I would say his kicking technique is, 10 times better than, the next best guy. Nice, another left straight to the body. Right, just constantly sticking his feet in his opponent's face here. Oh, got countered on the spin.
He just ran out of room, or we would have seen it. That ends round 8. Rick Rufous.
Round 8.
Hold on to the U.S. middleweight crowd. He'll go to his corner for final instructions before the 9th and final round coming up.
The final 9th round. You know that old chestnut? How kickboxing, full contact karate fights always go to the 9th round. Could have chose 8. Could have chose 10. Went with 9. Look at there! There we go, some beautiful women.
There's Victoria Johnson, former Penthouse Pet of the Year, also.
Wow, Victoria Johnson. We're going to look her up afterwards. Penthouse Pet of the Year. I love this. Like, for absolutely no reason, just showing all the hot chicks in the crowd. One was famous, kind of got that. The other two, they're just like, these hot women liking karate. Gonna watch some hot women watch karate. It's the 80s. Nice. He's going to put his final stamp on it, but I don't think he's really lost one round this entire fight. Landed every kick, landed every punch. Maybe not, but the ones he really wanted to land, he pretty much did. The other ones, right, he's just setting up the bigger shots.
Miller continues to be the aggressor, but Rufus moving and throwing just a little bit of everything. And look at the movement he's still got.
And dancing around the ring, tons of energy, some combination work there. It's constant pressure whenever these guys try to throw combinations. They can't really just sit in one spot and throw their shots. They always got to be moving in as they throw.
And waiting for an opportunity.
Nice. Come over top. It's good boxing on the inside, moving his head out of the range of Miller. Right, Rufus's boxing technique isn't off the charts. It's
one just missed.
it's really his kicks that just make everything happen. But the fact that he's such a good kicker just makes his boxing even better. Nice.
Rufus followed it with a kick. Winding down here, ninth and final round. It's been an active.
Man, I want to spar like this, though. Just dance around the ring, landing shots, spinning around, doing fancy stuff. Dancing, making this entire sport look easy.
As we're coming to a close of this one, final 5 seconds.
He makes it look possible to do these jumping, spinning back kicks where you're like 6 feet in the air. When he's probably the only person on the planet that can really do that in a real fight. Well, I would say that's one in the books for Rick Rufous. It's pretty hard to deny that. He pretty much dominated every second of that fight from start to finish with his patented non-stop kicking style, amazing footwork, setting up his boxing off of his kicks, countering most of what Miller threw at him. Like, I don't even think Miller's that terrible. He stood in there. He was pretty sound defensively for most of the strikes that Rufus was throwing at him. But it just, he really just did not stand a chance. He couldn't even really engage, let alone get a combo off without getting completely schmacked every single time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the decision. Remember, we're using the PKC decimal scoring system.
Okay.
Judge Chapman scores the fight 90-89. Judge Keeney scores the fight 90-87.2. Judge McLaughlin scores the fight 90-87.6. Winner by unanimous decision, United States middleweight champ Rick Rufous.
That seems like too close of a decision. The 90-87.6? What was the other one? 96.3? Where the fuck do those numbers come from?
Was close on one judge's card, not so close on the other two. Joe Corley's with our winner, Rick Rufous. Joe?
Those are really far apart. They all sounded kind of
A
close.
little bit bored in the ring. Tonight you look bored with the decision. Are you happy with it?
No, not really. Due to my sparring partner being 6'3", my timing was off just a little bit.
It seems like some of those jump spinning back kicks, 360s you threw went a little bit high. Have you been throwing those at your sparring partner?
Yes, I have. That was supposed to be a surprise attack on Oliver Miller, but in this case it didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
Your legs seem to be so flexible. You move them around as easily as I do my arms, and I hate you for it. What gives you the ability to kick like
And I hate you for
I
it.
credit that to
Why is this
winning the power stretch a couple years ago at
interviewer
Atlanta.
talking
I
shit?
used that during my training, and it
You
helped
move your
very,
legs like my arms, and I
Okay, so,
despise you
Mike
for
Thurman,
that.
You want Bob Thurman or Johnny Terrio?
Well, right now I want a lot of people, but I'm going to leave that up to the right people to make the right decision.
Rick the Jet Rufous, a nice young man
All
who
right.
does the job in the ring, like Brad said.
And
He could
I
be the kid
hate
next
his
door, Brad.
guts,
All right.
because his legs are better than my arms. Oh, shit. Alright, well, that was pretty... Oh, no, we're not watching Super Nanny. Stop. We're watching Super Nanny in the house. Yeah, that was a great fight. You know, well, maybe not a great fight. It was pretty interesting to watch, and you have to appreciate the skill of Rick Rufous, but this is sort of a common theme of a lot of these fights in the earlier PKA, PKC, full contact days, I guess. All right, there wasn't really that deep of a pool of athletes. So you got some good fighters, but for the most part, you got a lot of, it's kind of seemed like journeymen. Most of them were journeymen. Maybe that's the same with boxing. I can't really speak to it. I don't watch that much boxing. But you definitely got a pretty shallow pool of like the best of the best of the best kickboxers. Like there's maybe 5 or 6 guys that pretty much had completely undefeated records from start to finish in almost every weight class. And they more or less dominated every single guy they fought other than each other. Right? You got Rick Rufous and Jean-Yves Theriault as just, you know, 2 of them. Right, there's a couple more. Like Brad Hefton was definitely one of those guys. Oh my God, there's a couple names on the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it right now. I'm tired. But regardless, some great fights. Sorry you're looking at, you know, Joe from Super Nanny. But thanks for being here with me. Really appreciate it. We'll see you soon.